Hello and welcome to another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. I'm Wayne Highlander, Director of Sales for Bona Adhesives, and you are?
I am Rob Johnson from the Bona Training.
Hey, Rob, how we doing?
Oh, good morning, partner. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
You don't seem like you're doing great. You look tired. I know this is an early morning taping. This is coffee with On the Floor. You okay?
I am. Well, I never went to bed last night, and I checked into a hotel at 7 a.m. to do this podcast, and then I got to do this and then leave, and then come back. So it was weird checking in a hotel at 7 a.m. I'm surprised they let me.
Where'd you sleep last night?
I didn't. It was on the road. It's a long story, but I am got a lot of energy.
So you were
man.
driving all night.
Yep.
Checked into the hotel just to do the show.
Yes.
You are. That's why you're a mammoth in this industry. It's things like that.
You know, you power through. I appreciate the sympathy.
Oh, there's no sympathy.
No.
Don't ever confuse that. No, I'm not a sympathy giver. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, Rob, what you got on your mind?
Well, Wayne. Oh, believe me, this one's gonna put you to sleep. Guess what? I have another border story. Oh, yeah. I was in Toronto.
I thought you'd like that. Start.
Good move.
Thank you.
Oh, I gotta take this call. I can't listen to another border story.
Yeah, I gotta go with this Canadian story.
Yeah. So I was working in Toronto last week, going through customs, got my travel letter, everything's good. Right away, I could tell the guy didn't like me. Right away.
No kidding.
I mean, he just looked at me and I was like, hey, how's it going? Or I said, good evening or something. I always greet him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this guy was stone.
No kidding.
Absolute stone.
Not having it.
So he's right. Yeah. So he's reading the letter. Now I just dummy up. I don't say a word. He's reading the letter. And he goes, so let me get this straight. Are you the trainer or the trainee? And I said, oh, I'm the trainer. Just like that. I was like, oh, trying to be a little positive. Oh, I'm the trainer.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, he pulls out a pad and writes me a ticket. And he goes, swear, go right over. He goes, see that yellow flashing light?
Wow.
Go park over there. Go inside, talk to customs. And I was like, oh, yes, sir. All right. Go in, go to customs. There is nobody there. It's empty. It's like 5 guys. Nobody's there except for me.
He singled you out.
Oh, yeah. So I go over, give all my paperwork, passport, and this ticket. The guy says, hey, do me a favor. Just go have a seat over there in the waiting area. I go and sit in the waiting area. There's a TV there. Mm-hmm. What's on TV?
Hockey.
Bruins Toronto Maple Leafs game. I'm just sitting there in customs. There's another customs agent. He's kind of sitting in the waiting area, and we're watching the game together.
Beautiful.
I didn't tell anybody. Mm-hmm. I'm a Bruins fan, though. I figured that's it. They throw me in the clinker.
Yep. You got no problems.
Yep. And then finally, guy calls me up, and he says, okay, you're all set. They were thinking I might need a work permit because but I didn't because Bona doesn't have a home op, blah, 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 whatever. So he goes, you're free to go. You're all set. And I said, do you mind if I just hang out a little bit and watch the end of this period? There's only like 2 minutes left. He started laughing, and me, him, and another guy watched the end of the period at customs. So
that's beautiful.
Isn't that a nice little?
Everything but popcorn. Yeah. That is too funny. I'm in New York right now. Well, actually, I'm in Pennsylvania, but I was been in New York the last few days. And I realized something about New York. The horns, I'm talking about New York City. The horns are honking all the time. Like everybody's honking at everybody all the time, honking. But nobody takes it personal. And I started, it just didn't hit me till this trip. like in California, in the Bay Area, and in LA, and everywhere, like you don't have as many people honking. It's unusual that people would honk at each other very much. But when they do honk, they take it very, very highly personal. Like they get mad. And that is the difference between the drivers in New York and the drivers in don't get me wrong, there's outliers, I'm sure. But I've never seen so many people honk and just cut in with no business cutting in on somebody. And it's just part of everybody knows it's just the way it is.
So you got to have a beater in New York. You don't drive nice cars in New York.
I totally
You
get it.
really do not drive a nice car in New York. You don't do it.
Did I tell you? I don't know if I told you. I was taking an Uber ride back to it was Uber or a cab ride back to the airport one day, and this guy and he's a Jamaican dude, and he's cool as hell, and he's listening to music loud and everything, and I'm enjoying it, and he's weaving in and out of everybody like he's a magician, and all of a sudden he hits a car, and he goes, "Whoa, man, that was close," and he just keeps on driving. That's beautiful.
In our old life, you remember our old life that we had?
Mm-hmm.
The owner of the company wanted to come and travel with me through New York City. And I think I've told this story before. It was Fashion Week, and that's really why she was there. Her and her friend wanted to go to Fashion Week, so they used me as an excuse.
As a prop. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But at the time, I was driving an old state trooper car.
Beautiful.
The old
the Crown
Chevy, Vic. No, it wasn't a Crown Vic. It was what the hell was a Chevy?
State trooper car. Nova.
The old
Nova Chevelle.
No, I think they call them box Chevys or something now.
Okay.
Kids are all over these cars.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I can't believe I can't think of the name of it. Anyways, I literally bounced off a cab one time when I was driving with her. A bus kind of nudged me. Nothing was, no.
Yeah.
But, I had the car where, hey, if you wanted to throw, I'll throw.
Yeah,
okay?
you got nothing to lose.
I got nothing to lose with this.
Yeah.
It was a black one. And I did some body work when I found black duct tape, I was like, this car's going to look brand new. I covered all the rust areas and everything with that black duct tape. It was a beautiful car. Gorgeous.
That was your work vehicle?
That was my work vehicle.
Wow.
Now, like I said, I'm banging and, beating and banging for 3 days, driving her and her friend around. They were visiting customers.
Mm-hmm.
I drop her at the airport. She goes, when you picked us up, I was a little upset that we're paying you by the mile to drive this car.
Yeah.
I think it was like 45 cents a mile or something.
Wow.
And I am just cruising,
You earned every bit of that.
Oh, it was a rolling cash register, man. It was, that car owed me nothing.
That's beautiful.
She says, I get it. I really do get it. She goes, this is just insane down here. And I was like, geez, I thought it was a pretty good trip, but
yeah,
nudging, you know what I mean? We're not hitting anybody. It's like the NASCAR rubbing is racing in New York City, and it's tight,
I mean, I'm the passenger in this trip, and it's like you're in a blender. I mean, you're constantly adjusting for other people, and it's like, I mean, no place I've ever seen, man. It is a trip.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to talk about today?
Nice place to visit.
Oh, I love New York.
Nice place to visit, but
yeah,
after 2 days, I'm like, okay, time to go.
Yeah.
You ever get a floor that once you started it, you're thinking, I can't stand this job. I can't do it.
I've had some that I thought, oh my God, why did I take this job? That is just going to be a nightmare. Yeah. Just like, you put the paper on and it goes like 3 feet and it's open coat and you're doomed.
Yeah. Yeah. Peter and I had one. It was house was built in the 1800s. And I was the one who measured the floor, and it was huge.
Hmm.
And it just looked like, old spruce. It was like 8 inches wide, those old
Yep.
spruce planks. And I'm like, we are going to kill this thing. This is because I don't have to do too much here. You know what I mean? They're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
expecting a miracle.
Right.
So I'm like, get it clean, get it flat. Well, once we started sanding it, all of a sudden we noticed that, and I didn't notice this when I was, going through what I'm going to spend all the money on.
Hmm.
The knots were up about a half an inch.
Oh no.
You ever seen one of these
Yeah.
where the
Yeah.
floor is so worn,
Yeah.
but the knots stayed really high?
Yeah. Because they're harder than death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And you literally, I mean, I was having trouble rolling the machine.
Wow, man.
And, we're into this.
Yeah.
You
There's
know
no
what I mean?
turn.
They're
There's
moved
no
out. There's no
turning back.
There's no turning back.
Hmm.
What we ended up doing, oh man, I'll never forget this. We had to go rent another edger. We had one edger. We went and rented another one. I had a wicked old Porter cable edger. It wouldn't cut down those knots. That's how
Oh
old this
man.
machine
Oh.
was. So we literally had to go through about 1,400 feet, shaving all the knots down with an edger. So we were like 2 days of just getting the floor so we could sand it. So I could get a sander through it.
Just to even start it.
Just to even get
Wow.
started. Right.
Yeah. And you and I'm gonna be Pete. It's Pete, right? It's
Yeah.
alleged friend you have. Did he not ask you? Did you not see the knots when you're bidding this job?
No. You see, that's the beautiful part of Pete.
He didn't give you a hard time about it.
Of course not.
That's a good partner.
He never said a word. I mean,
Yeah.
never said a word. Just
You know something. That's a good man right there. And for the first time ever, I'm going to give this, if he does exist, friend Pete of yours some credit, because you can be into a job with somebody, and they can, in a situation like this, they can make it way even more miserable, or they can power through it, recognizing the situation, and they can just, you know what, let's get it done. Or the whole week they can make it even more miserable, complain, and that, if he existed, I would buy him a cup of coffee and shake his hand, because that's a good man right there that'll do that. He could have laid unto you. He could have, why did you bid this job? What, blah, blah. He could have made your life miserable.
we're gonna lose money on this job.
Yeah.
No, that was actually Pete was complete opposite of that because we
Oh.
had some unbelievable between the bowling alleys, gym, all the crap that we had tackled.
Mhm.
He never said a word.
Wow.
He's like, "Hey, get the job done." Never said a word. Yeah, you're right. I never even thought of that before. I've known him so long.
Yeah.
He's not a complainer. Some guys just complain. Like some guys are like, "God, it's so hot. It's hot." Yeah, I know. You're making it worse when you tell me how freaking hot it is. I know it's hot. Look at.
or the little things, the throwing the cord around, you know what I mean, you know what I mean, and just doing stuff, just little things that are just negative. That is such a good partner that will power through with you like that. That he didn't complain at all. I don't, having never met him, I picture him as being like that Indian guy on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Am I close?
You are.
Gonna get
You
my
are
ass
pretty
kicked?
close. You are pretty close. No, I mean
Okay.
that was a great character. If you're
Yeah.
gonna
Oh,
compare anybody in Cuckoo's Nest,
that was the guy.
that's the guy that you want to be compared to.
Yes.
Strong, silent,
Had it figured out.
had it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Had it all figured out.
Yeah.
He was,
Okay.
Wait, you know what else he had figured out?
Hmm.
Oh, what was the name of the Jim Carrey movie? He portrayed Andy Kaufman. Okay.
Yeah, I remember the
And when
movie.
Andy Kaufman was wrestling women and on Saturday Night Live and everything,
Mhm.
I hated Andy Kaufman. I mean, I just hated this guy. Like,
Yeah.
why is he on TV? You know, why are they giving him 5 seconds?
Yeah.
And Pete one day says to me, "You know, it's all an act, right? It's not real. This is
Mm.
this is the goof. This is what the joke is making guys like you furious. This is his joke." And I'm
Wow.
like, "You're insane. That can't be true. That's not true."
Hmm.
And then the first time I saw the movie, Sherman was the first guy I called. Like,
Yeah, you're right.
you were, how did you see this? How did you see this and I didn't? This is insane.
I hated the guy for all the same reasons you just said you hated the guy. I agree. I didn't realize till much later also that it was all an act. I still hated the guy. I mean, all right, okay, so why are you telling me this story about this horrible job?
Because I had one last week. Had one last week at the training center. So I didn't get into late because of the whole customs issue. Plus, I wanted to hang out and watch the game. So get into the training center. We had 2 panels up in that training center, and one the resilient guys had used. Okay.
Hmm.
The Bona Resilient guy, and they came in, they did a demo. So, like, well, we can't put the resilient stuff on the wood floor. So they taped down a cheap vinyl, sheet vinyl floor. And then they did their program on top of it.
Okay.
And then when they started tearing everything up, the tape never budged. It was double sided industrial tape. It was about 6 inches wide. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Wow.
A guy stepped on the floor, and when he pulled his foot off, his foot came right out of his shoe,
Holy
and the
smokes.
shoe was stuck to the floor. Now I step on this floor. Now the class is starting. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
everybody's waiting to get going here. And I got
Yeah.
12 students, 2 panels. I can't walk on this floor. I mean, I step on the floor and I'm like this, trying to pull my foot off.
Hmm.
And I got to sand this thing.
To cancel the class?
That went through my head.
Hmm.
That definitely went through my head. So I said, well, all right, let's throw the UX, the Bona Belt UX, let's throw it up there. I said, but I'm going to show everybody how smart I am. We're going to tape those wheels off because it's going to get messy. All right.
Good move. Yeah.
Yeah. So I taped the wheels, roll the machine 6 inches. The glue just peels the tape right off of the wheel.
Wow.
Yeah, this is off to a rip roaring
Wow.
start. And the whole time, I can't move my feet. We had to push the drum across the floor like you were pushing a car. Like you
Wow.
were pushing a car in neutral. That's how we had to push the drum.
I would have been back to that Canadian border and talked to that guy, uh, watch another hockey game with him and just called it a week.
So I said, well, everybody, wait till you see Bona Platinum. That's platinum. We'll just tear through this like you have never seen anything.
Hmm.
The platinum belt went, and it was weird to sand a floor like that because I'm actually pushing the drum forward, trying to get this thing through the glue.
That's horrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The belt goes about a foot. Gone. Completely filled up. Done. So now I'm thinking, I think I'm just gonna put a new floor over this
Yeah.
rather than screw with this beast.
You wouldn't even have to glue it. You could just stick it down.
I could have literally. You're right. Probably would have been a little bit quicker, but
Hmm.
then all of a sudden, something kicks in your head like, I think I can do this. So I sent Darren the territory manager up there. I send Darren out to hardware store. I said, go get a half a dozen cans of WD-40. We're gonna beat this floor. Okay.
Before you go any further, that thought that went in your head that I think I could do this has sent a lot of men to the hospital. But continue.
So he comes back, load another paper on, spray the paper with WD-40, spray the floor, spray the wheels, and we start moving. Now I did probably a 1 foot square, and I could see wood. Oh, and by the way, it's a chevron pattern floor too.
Oh man,
let's just keep let's just keep lumping, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chevron pattern. So we start going. Now I'm thinking, if I can just get some daylight here.
Yeah. Yep.
If I can just get a little bit of daylight, I can keep moving, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Keep spraying, moving. Well, all of a sudden, man, I mean, I did. I caught some daylight, and the wheels now aren't traveling all the time in the glue.
Okay. And the WD-40 was the trick.
WD-40, you know, I've said it on the show many times. Pete and I did a job a million years ago when I was still working for my dad, a side job. And we had this old timer on the crew, and he goes, "Hey, how'd your job go this weekend?" I go, "Oh, man, cost me a ton of money and paper. I lost money." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, Jack. You don't just keep replacing the paper. You rub the floor down with kerosene." And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm the Jack, right?
Yeah.
Right. Then I'm talking to Mike Dittmer about it. He goes, "Yeah, my dad used to have we had a mop bucket filled with kerosene, and that's exactly what he did too." But at the time, I thought, nah, kerosene is ridiculous. I'm going to blow the place up. So I used motor oil on a job.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it worked great.
Did it really?
Yeah, until we came back the next day.
It leached into it?
And all that oil was leaching up through. Yeah. I mean, it was... So the homeowner's like, "What's going on there?" I go, "Yeah, that's, you know, it happens all the time."
Yeah.
We get the oil dry, you know, and we're spreading that out like it's in a garage, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling the homeowner, it's standard operation, standard procedure. This is what you got to do to get that oil. Yeah. You know, that was another nightmare. And then one day I just saw a can of WD-40. There was a big thing of it in the hardware store, and I thought, oh, a big display. I wonder how that would work. Ever since then,
yeah,
I swear by it.
Yeah, okay? I agree. Yep.
Spray the paper, spray it around it, and like I said,
spray each other.
Spray everything, man. Right? And we started to get it. And now all of a sudden, the class, we had a guy who had been doing floors for 45 years. And he's watching this and staring at me, and he's like, "I can't believe that this is working." He goes, "I was telling my wife on the ride here, they're not going to teach me anything. I doubt I'm going to learn anything."
Yeah.
Man, you know, you end up with students that are like right by your side. You know what I mean? Like, now he's like, "Let's do this." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
He's kind of taking this panel over now, right?
Yeah, nice.
And so now I'm really feeling ballsy. So I said, "You know what? I'm going to show you something else." Now I'm getting cocky.
Yeah.
Right. Here's what we can do with the yellow belt UX. Here's what we can do with the platinum paper. Wait till you see what a power drive can do with the diamond plates. Now the kid's looking at me. He's like, "Really? You think?" I go, "Well, you know, we're on a roll, baby. Let's go." Yeah. Right. WD-40 on the floor, WD-40 on the plate. The plates are ripping it up like crazy. Didn't clog the plates. And I mean, this was, like I said, at one point, I thought, we got to put a new floor in. There's no way I can get this.
Wow. That's awesome.
After it got to the point where everybody in the class wants to do something on this panel. They want to be part of the victory.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm making jokes like, Yeah, you can go to anybody else's. You can go to NWFA. You can go to the. You think that you're going to get real life experience like this?
No. See,
You think
you,
anybody can do a school like this?
you know, you should tell them that, listen, everybody tries to stump me. Even my own colleagues, they throw stuff at me. They think I can't get it done, but you can't stump me.
Unbelievable. You know, another thing we learned. One of the students says, "Man, you get that on full pressure, you know? You get that on full pressure." Everybody was assuming that it would be full head pressure.
Yeah.
I said, "No, actually, it's a opposite."
Yeah.
I go, "I've got it turned all the way back."
Yep.
I go, all I need to do
Get a
is
bite.
get this crap off." You know, I said, "I don't want to see the bare wood, not when we're using paper like this. You
Mhm.
know, I want a little of the finish left over. I just want to get this
Yeah.
it's a disaster off the top of it."
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you made a pass at that full pressure, it was done. But when we backed way off on the pressure, I mean, literally, I had the pressure turned all the way back.
Mm.
And I think what that did is it created less friction, which created less heat,
Yep.
which gave everything time to work, the paper, the WD, all that stuff.
If you're ever in a jam like that again, you know you can always call me. Did you thank the resilient guys? Did you talk to them?
No, not
Okay.
yet. Well, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I just put something in my back pocket. You know what I mean?
All
Just
right, there
save
you
it for
go.
later. You know what I mean?
No, that's
But
really cool.
it took a page out of Pete's book. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Who gonna complain?
Yeah.
Poor Darren. He was, you know, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "What are you apologizing for? This is going
Yeah.
to turn out to be one of the best schools we ever did." I go, "You know, you didn't know that you were absolutely ruining my life. You had no idea you were doing that."
Absolutely.
He did say to me, he goes, "You know, I've worked with you a bunch of times." He goes, "I've never seen you sweat." I go, "Yeah, I can sweat when I'm nervous." I go,
Mhm.
he goes, "You must have been a wreck." I go, "Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, the duck, right? Paddling like crazy underneath, but on top,
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, we do this all
Yeah.
day long, you know?"
Yeah. That's cool though. You powered through it, man. And some of those are the best wins. That start off so nasty like that and everything. And when you finally get down to that beautiful hardwood floor, man, there's nothing better.
I'll tell you, so after we blasted it, then we started really using all the Bona paper. So after we hit it, you know, after we got out of the woods with all that adhesive and stuff, then I turned over to the Bona green for the medium cut.
Okay.
Then I went to the Bona blue. Now remember, this is a chevron pattern, right? Went to the Bona blue, and then I finished it with the Bona 120 ceramic net.
Okay.
And then I said, "All right, I am feeling," because all the students are now like crawling all over this panel, like, "Wow, this is." And the whole time I'm like, "Hey, this is what you can
Yeah.
achieve, okay?
Yeah.
This is what you can achieve with the bonus systems, right?"
You know, I'm going to say this that just my talk about my floor real quick. Not to take anything. I'm sure your panel was exciting and everything, but no. But
What
the
what
thing
floor?
is,
What floor are you talking about?
I don't want to make a big
I
deal
know. I
about
can
it.
hear the music.
Wait a minute.
There
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, yeah.
Lower the
What was cool about that is that every single thing that touched that floor was made by Bona, from the machines, from the craft oil to from the adhesive, the wood filler, the vacuums, the Tampico brush, every single thing that touched that floor, we provide, and you can turn out some amazing floors just staying within our system. Amazing world class floors, and I'm not saying that was world class floor, but of course it was. But there, so that's kind of a cool feeling You know what I mean? To be able to stay within the family and have a product line that will do everything. So
Yeah,
that,
we had
yeah.
everything right there. I mean, except for the WD-40, we had everything right there. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, let's do that. Let's try this. Let's try that. We didn't have to send out for anything.
Mm.
It was all Big Brother Bona. I'll tell you what. Um, then now that I'm really feeling my oats, I go, they're like, what are you going to finish this with? I go, we're going to do natural seal. So we did a coat of clear seal, and
Hmm.
then a coat of natural seal over the clear seal.
Nice.
And I had, like I said, I had some guys there. One guy was over 30 years, another guy was over 40 years. I had guys crawling around in that floor with a flashlight looking for some sort of scratch,
Yeah.
and especially it being Chevron.
That's awesome.
And the funny part was I didn't have to say anything.
Hmm.
You know, yeah, I'm the head instructor, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the old timers and the guys who do floors are crawling through just trying to find one scratch on that Chevron. And they're looking at the other, the new squad like
Hmm.
this is unbelievable.
Wow. That's
This
cool.
is this is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah, it was. And like I said, I mean, you and I have probably worked a lot of jobs in our life,
Hmm.
and this was one that I haven't had many, but this was one where like we can't do this, can't
That's
do it.
cool. That's cool. You powered through it, man. That's awesome. You
I was
reminded,
really happy for the students because
yeah.
it all of a sudden I just saw the switch in their head go off like,
Mm.
man, if he can do this,
Yeah.
if we can sand this panel,
Tackle
there
anything.
there isn't a job we can't do.
Yep. That's cool. You reminded me when the Power Drive just first came out, and I went out to a job, and these guys had sanded the floor, and they had all kinds of problems with it. There was chatter marks in the floor. There was edger marks on the floor and everything, and it was not good. So I told them we can sand this floor. We can sand it with a power drive and sand it over, and we did. And then I stained the floor, or we stained the floor, and we finished with the power drive, which they had not used before. And they took out their phones. 3 or 4 of them got out their phones, turned their lights on, and got on their knees and were looking for scratches.
Yeah.
And I said,
yeah.
I said, no, hang on a second. So when I got here, this floor was a disaster. I mean, you had edge marks everywhere. You had all kinds of stuff going on, and you're on your hands and knees with a flashlight now, looking at the floor.
Right.
You know what I mean? In case
Yeah.
this didn't meet your expectations. Come on, man. So
Now you're gonna get fussy.
yeah.
Huh? Yeah.
So anyhow.
Yeah. Hey, another thing that the students learned
Hmm?
at that school, they learned about wear layers, cheap wear layers on engineered floors too.
You blow through it?
Oh my God. Oh yeah. There are some spots where we could count the layers, like 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. And then we're showing everybody, see, this is what we were talking about with engineered floor with that really cheap wear layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had some amazing burn through. It was kind of funny. I mean, it
Wow.
was, but we won. We beat it, man. It was a big win for Bona Training last week.
That's cool. Sometimes you can use those burn through marks as training opportunities too on how to paint and everything and fix those things and you know what I mean, disguise them a little bit.
Somebody said that to me. Well, what happens when you do a little burn through? I go, well, there's some people out there that can do some faux painting and things like that, and they get
Yeah.
creative. And
Yeah.
and they said, on this, are you faux painting that? I go, oh my God, no,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is,
Yeah. Yeah.
you can't faux paint 100 feet.
Yeah. Or you tell the homeowner that when you sand these floors, you start exposing knots that you don't see from the factory.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know what? What I like about this story is when you first texted me this the other night, you were so excited about it, and my response to you, remember my response? Um, I love the fact that you still have this much passion for it, man. I mean, you were just as excited as this is your first year in business,
Oh,
and
I'll tell you, the Darren, ask Darren if you ever talking to him. I think he's going down to convention. I'm
okay,
pretty sure he is. Ask him how I was at the end of the first day. I mean,
good,
I was jacked.
nice,
It was like I didn't want everybody to leave. I wanted to keep going. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
we're on the good foot now. We're on the other side of this. Let's really see what we can accomplish here, you know?
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I love that about you, man. It is never that fire has never gone away, man. It is still you're just passionate about it. Your training as the day you started doing floors, man. So I really admire that about you. So just so you know,
thank you very
yeah,
much.
yeah,
I'm gonna give myself a bell.
you should.
Yeah.
There you go.
Compliment from Wayne. There we go.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually two bells though. It wasn't a two bell type of.
One for you,
racing?
one for me.
Oh, there you go.
type of
Okay.
thing.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
One more thing. If you haven't tried the Bone and Net, God, I hate to sound like a sales guy or something, but it does everything those diamonds does, but more, and at a quarter of the price, or if not
Mhm.
more. But I was really blown away by the net, the Bone and Net. We had used ceramic because we got so aggressive with it, but what a beautiful print that left behind. I don't know if you've played with them yet.
In Nashville with Jeremiah, and
Okay.
everybody on that panel was blown away that it took out green scratches from the. You know how aggressive our green sandpaper is, and it actually took out those scratches. So it's skipping a step or two, and it was flawless. So yeah, that's good stuff. Okay, Rob. Well, I appreciate that, man. It was a cool story.
Look, I'm sorry. I know I'm not supposed to do this much talking on the show.
No, it was good.
I apologize.
You kept the Canadian story short, so that was my main concern.
Half of the time I'm sitting there watching the game, I'm just kind of laughing to myself, thinking, "Oh my God, I'm gonna give him another boring story
Yeah,
of Rob at the border." Rob's border stories.
no, that's pretty good.
Rob's boring border stories. But
Yeah, no,
I was
that was a
kind of
good
chuckling
one.
to myself.
Hmm.
Oh, Wayne's gonna love this one.
Beautiful. All right, well, Rob, I appreciate it, and this has been another episode of On the Floor with Wayne and Rob. Please stay tuned for another episode.